Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome. So many people already dropping by. Thank you so much. It's lovely to have you here. Oh, I see an Esmeralda in chat. Oh, where is she?
Hello.
Where has she gone? Okay, now let us jump back into things here. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us through the mists. Pre-new book. This is old school Barovia, with plenty of tweaks and fun bits and bobs added in for fun, as you know. So, let us get going. Last time we were in Barovia, I need to stop jumping ahead of myself and say thank you to people, don't I? Excuse me. Last time we were in Barovia, we were also thankful for the VOD squad and all of those fine people who drop on by and catch up with our story when they get the chance, if they don't get to see us live, like you lucky people do. Welcome on by. And a thank you to Syrinscape for the lovely music and sound effects that you'll be hearing tonight, along with extra music from Dark Fantasy Studio, and then over on YouTube, RPG music maker Travis Savoy and Epic Journey. And a newcomer to the bunch, Will Savino, over on Patreon. So, last time we were here, having waded deep into the fetid waters of the swamp of Berez, you were led astray and then confronted by two swamp naga. Managing to bring them to the brink of defeat, they fled, but it was at the arrival of Count Strahd von Zarovich. He chastised you for not answering his invite to the castle, despite the early hour. Maybe something else had originally brought him to Berez. Being challenged to give a reason to not be self-assured, he obliged, swooping down to pluck Esmeralda from your midst. Taking a long drink from her neck, he flew off towards Castle Ravenloft, her limp form under one arm. We find ourselves in the settling waters and dissipating stinky cloud as the sounds of the swamp return. Sploosh.
Vanta looks right at the place where Esmeralda was spirited away from, and she just says, no, I have no regrets.
Bit harsh even for you.
Yeah, I should say so.
I have to believe that. No regret.
You still don't even have your book back.
No regrets. So we're just in the swamp with some dead snake people things.
Yeah.
Let
me just...
Yeah, they got out of there.
Oh,
We didn't.
fled. Oh, we didn't. We
didn't even get to kill them.
Good.
They ran away before we got a chance.
Sorry, I'm just going to resize our Wolfie boy here.
Slosh.
Wolfie boy,
No
Wolfie
regrets,
boy.
Yes.
No regrets.
Hey, hey Colby,
Yes,
you're looking fly.
thank you. Yeah, I saw that message. That's my buddy Jamel.
Hello, Jamel.
Thank you for the
you.
follow, mysterious shrimp creature.
Please tell me that's.
We're not fighting that next, are we?
No, it's not. And Tree Boy
Melon
too.
shrimp.
Thank you. It's Marin, yeah.
Erin is melon shrimp.
Esmeralda. Esmeralda is shrimpy by nature in the chat.
Her name when you katakana-ize her name sounds like melon shrimp in Japanese.
Hey, Floridian.
That's really cute.
Ah,
Meron. How's that, Mike? Is that good?
Maybe.
How's that looking, Michael? All right?
Yeah, that's perfect, thank you.
All right. So.
Though I've seemingly changed completely into a new character.
I know. I don't know where it goes.
I'll
Leave me
play
alone.
Vanta today.
Leave me alone.
Just noticed the token.
Oh
of
my
that
gosh,
like
who
that.
am I?
You are Crick
You're Craig.
at the moment.
I'm Krieg. Caw!
Wow.
Can I fly? Oh, there's the ceiling is too low. Let me just walk like a normal human.
People,
Begrudgingly.
I like how you say like a normal
Bugs
human,
everywhere.
but there's no humans in the party.
there are no humans in this party now.
There are no humans in the party. Bugs though. There's thousands of them.
I
I
was
have
the only
heard
one.
of you.
I was the only one in the right place. So, complete
No, I'm
favoritism for myself there. Okay. And Craig is over here. Do bear
Real
with me,
quick
everybody.
question.
Unfortunately, lovely Asara is caught something nasty from the swamp water.
No.
You want to be
Yeah,
careful.
I'm not feeling so hot.
You don't want those open wounds in this nasty swamp water. Oof.
No.
Right.
Speaking of technical difficulties, have we started anything on Syrinscape?
Yes.
I also can't hear it.
I hear nothing.
Oh, maybe because it used to, like, when you logged in, it would restart for you. But
Well, this
Let me-
is. I was able to repair my actually like nice laptop, which
nice.
that I hadn't used in like a year.
How's that?
Right, it looks like I'm like looking at my token every now and again, but it's that's where Twitch chat is.
No,
Yeah,
not-
yeah.
It says Game Master Me.
Checking yourself out. Huh?
It says Game Master Me.
Oh, that's you're just
Oh,
you're just
you've-
sat on the Syrinscape window by yourself. No.
You need to reconnect using the website.
I need to send you the thingy again. Everyone, do
Got
bear with
it.
us. Colby, there's so many
Yeah.
people here. They're gonna get bored and leave.
I know it. Yeah, I mean, I know how boring the IT stuff is. So
Christopher,
Welcome.
which
to
one? There is like
the
I'm gonna invite all of them.
Hey guys.
There's so many of you. Why are there so
this
many of
one
you?
is Colby. Okay, yeah,
you go.
John invited you to the.
There you go.
So this is the stream where we just get boring, and I think that's fun. It's
It's a
great.
stream
How
about
could we-
nothing.
Snare
How
drum,
could we
snare
have
drum,
them
snare
boring?
drum, snare drum, snare drum. There you go, Dylan.
Hold on.
Okay.
So Strahd is gone, yes, or is he?
Yes, he has flown back towards Castle Ravenloft with Esmeralda.
Bingo, got it. I'm
So-
in.
His
just look at my notes,
little
figure out what I
bento for later.
gonna- Like, Denica's just gonna be like, so, I guess dinner is decided.
Mhm.
Is Vanta still poisoned?
Yes.
Cool.
No,
Morbid
'cause
Syndicate.
that disappeared with the gas.
I'm fine.
So that you are okay.
Cool.
I just have to do this
Retract
for
it.
I have to do this for Patch. There you go, sir. That-
Yeah,
that is-
that was-
that is the last
Esmeralda.
request I will take.
That was Esmeralda.
I can't hear the Wilhelm scream.
Okay,
Ah.
so yes, you
I'm just gonna have to do without music today.
find yourselves surrounded by those strange, dank, lichen-bedecked trees with their roots down, but hidden beneath the water, as the fetid, bloated bugs that are not Krieg's little buddies lazily fly around looking for a meal, only to be swatted away by Xenacus's tail. And the rest of you are left here, sans d'avenir. What do you do?
I know Florida when I hear that description.
Mm-hmm.
I howl.
Getting a
Very
little too
upset.
native, Xenacus.
Has the right?
Just
We
growls
haven't,
at you.
we haven't actually really interacted with this thing at all, but I know it's there, so I just want to see what the situation is.
The Scarecrow?
Scarecrow. I was thinking of the
Well,
swamp guardian.
Scarecrow. Yeah, the Scarecrow.
Oh,
looks
same
like
as-
Swamp Guardian.
Those are the
Right.
those are the same. Okay, one and the same. Yeah, the swamp guardian. I want to go and look at
Yes. Okay, so
it,
yeah,
and I will investigate it.
you all move slowly through the water as you leave that little rise, that little rocky rise where you'd kind of taken a stand against the various monsters that you're faced with. You wade, pushing your way through the water, and you can feel your feet sinking in soft mud below. And just this water just extends out to where you know the river to be, over to your east, on your left side, as you are pushing through. and you come up again on that solitary, stationary figure, most half concealed in the mists. And you see those strange elongated limbs. But no longer is it the visage of Vanta.
Oh,
You see what appears to be just a regular straw-stuffed scarecrow.
what does that mean?
Krieg is
Why does this keep
visibly
happening?
wary of the scarecrow for reasons.
Mhm.
What does it smell like?
I like-
Mold and damp.
I do quite like. So, I must be honest with you, in case you've forgotten. Once again, I've encountered a image of myself moments before encountering a monster that would like to eat myself and you.
Is that like
I
the
believe there is a
same,
correlation.
same thing that happened with the weird gallows incident?
Yes, I believe so.
Mm,
Someone's targeting you.
Well,
They,
I wouldn't be surprised.
well, they've stolen many of your items. They've shown visages of you before we've been attacked numerous times.
Yes,
They're afraid of you.
or
afraid.
Why else would they target you?
I think you've got a fan, Vanta.
A fan? Like a convert to the Raven Queen.
If that's how you want to look at it, sure. I guess that's kind of the same thing. I was thinking more of the big headdress, follows you around everywhere, singing about you, that kind of fan.
Interesting.
What
I
kind of
don't
fan
know.
have you met?
What kind of fans have you met? I have met none. I usually don't make friends. Some people say that I am disagreeable. I don't necessarily believe that.
That's just the statues in the monastery.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, no, I know what this is.
What?
You have a rival.
This cannot be. I am chosen. I am the last of my kind. I hate them. Who are they?
Well, I mean, one, obviously, I don't know who they are. Two, I mean, they don't have to actually be chosen as you are. I mean, they just have to think that they are, right?
Or
They
they
are
want to be
deluded.
chosen instead of you.
Right. They want to get you out of the way so they can be chosen.
Oh my gosh. My brain is breaking into 1,000 pieces right now.
Or it's just Strahd.
Or it's just Strahd. All of these are possible, and yet I know nothing about any of these options.
Well, I guess there's only one way to figure this out.
Kill everyone in our way.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you guys had ideas because I was waiting. I
Do not to worry, Krieg. Asara, stop looking at us with disapproval. I feel like she would be.
I shall roleplay Asara's eyebrow.
Vanta says, well, we came here for a purpose. I intend to see it through.
That purpose still exists, but I feel that the circumstances have changed with the abduction and
Sorry, I heard circus.
conversion.
I was like, what?
The abduction and conversion of Esmeralda. I feel that Amaris should be updated as soon as possible.
Yes, that's going to be a conversation.
Amaris can have a head start whilst we retrieve my items, and then we can go and save Esmeralda.
yeah, I mean we're already here.
Yes. Seneca.
We just have to get around this town then.
Yes. Perfect.
Exactly.
On we go. And Vanta will slosh, 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 slosh. Actually, can I just really...
Isn't it
can
that
I-
way?
Slosh, 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 slosh. Can I actually really just do a quick investigation check on the thing? Just because
Please.
I was going to.
Let's do.
Natural 20!
Oh, there we
It's
go.
a natural 20.
Oh,
Um,
natural 20.
which-
Oh, natural.
Natural 20. Oh, whoa, whoa. On my investigation check, please.
Okay. Whilst, for all intents and purposes, this does appear to be an average-looking scarecrow.
Wondrous. It is
It's-
an average-looking scarecrow, except...
When you first walked up to it and saw it wasn't you anymore, and then you had this conversation with the boys,
the boys.
and then you made this investigation check, it's not facing the way it just was.
What is it looking at now?
You.
Oh.
As a group.
Thanks for that qualifier. It's slightly less scary, funnily enough.
I want to motion the boys over to me. Boys.
It's looking at Xenicus' left ear.
Xenicus.
It's like,
Craig will like crab walk
Twitching.
over to Vanta without taking his eyes off
This
the
is
scarecrow.
this is a very
Everybody.
very laborious task, everyone. You are, as I said, chest deep.
Okay.
I
Very
mean, I feel like it's now only like up to like
Ah.
stomach deep for me because I'm a lot bigger now that I'm a werewolf.
Actually,
Ooh.
thanks to my deft explorer,
Oh my god.
I have a swimming speed now.
So we have a bird just doggy paddling and a dog crab walking.
That's
delightful.
like the wings are like wide out, like floating over the water, just like using the wings.
Yeah, like how like gulls or like seabirds like.
That's
kind
a scene.
Absolutely.
I want to motion the boys over and to say, everybody, let's move in unison and not take our eyes off it and see if it turns with us. 3, 2, 1. Slosh, 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 slosh,
Seneca
slosh,
stayed
slosh,
put.
slosh. Seneca!
Like looked at you with like.
Seneca!
Yes. Like looks at Asara and like moves over towards Evanta.
She shrugs and joins.
Does it move with us?
And she comes with you. Yeah. Oh, does the
Does
scarecrow?
the scarecrow?
As you start moving as a group, like south, carrying on down the river,
Sure. Yeah.
there is a. As the upright of this scarecrow creaks ever so slightly as it spins in place on its axis.
Okay, we did have explicit instructions to not attack these things, right?
Attack nothing until we are attacked.
All
Can
right.
Can I confirm a bit of information with you all, just as we move on? We were told not to go near the hut. We were told
Good.
not to mess with the goats and not to attack these guardians. That's the 3 key pieces of information that we have. These guardians, are they guarding the swamp, the goats, or Babalai Saga?
Always
do we
protect the goats.
Potentially
Always
all
protect-
3.
Probably all 3.
Should we assume that they are eyes on us then? And
I
it
mean,
is
it's
best
looking
to
right
avoid
at us,
their
right?
gaze?
Very highly probable.
Very highly probable, I would say 99% chance. Would
Shall we continue
you...
on?
Well, yes, but I was asking whether you think we might want to try and stealth as much as we can to avoid their gaze, in case it's someone we don't want watching us on the other side of those eyes.
You
I would
want us to-
agree.
You want us to wade stealthily.
Vanta looks around the area. Are there like lily pads and big leaves around?
I must make a member that will be an NPC name in the future. Wade stealthily.
Wade stealthily. My name is Wade Stealthily.
International
I don't know
criminal
where this-
extraordinaire.
I stole it from Elisa.
Thank you,
It's-
Elisa.
Mate, might I ask, do we see some large leaves around?
Large leaves?
It'll be fun if there are some, or like bits of moss.
You're going like special forces. It's like mud across the face.
Yes, exactly. Well, what I want to
Try
do
and make
is
your
there's
own
probably
ghillie
like a
suit.
boulder with some moss on it. I just want to pull off the moss and make a little hat, and then just like.
Absolutely. Make me a survival check.
Oh, can I help with that?
It's a natural one.
19 karma.
You managed to find some vegetation that's completely alien to this region, and it's like, yes, this is what I
Oh my
need.
Okay, it's a giant mushroom cap that is now my hat.
A sprig of
Ooh.
Japanese cherry blossom.
Yeah.
Aha.
This is just a very well kept rose bush.
Like the Scarecrow's just been like maintaining it while it was waiting for people.
Craig,
Like a trimmed hedge in like a shape of like a cupid.
You see Vanta pulling up this bush, and as you walk away, the scarecrow. We zoom in on the scarecrow's face, and just a single tear. My shrubbery.
Craig got a 23, and he like,
Okay.
give me that, Banta,
Banter is sad.
and fashions
I
this
liked it.
this hat for Vanta.
There we go.
Yay.
Okay. So, please, could you all give me a stealth check with disadvantage?
My fun hat didn't give us a straight roll. Actually, that's not terrible.
The problem is the
Advantage.
disadvantage is just from the splashing of the water, and the hat does not help with that.
Also, I have natural disadvantage because I'm wearing heavy armor.
Ooh.
Double
Boy.
disadvantage.
19.
Wow.
Wow.
So
know.
I rolled a 20 and then a 19,
Oh.
Nice.
and I have a +8 to stealth.
Oh my god!
Wow, you are the stealthiest swamp
Craig,
crawlers ever.
Craig
I
How's the
rolled-
werewolf?
silently
rolled-
bobbing on this water like.
A 20
Oh.
and a 2.
Oh.
So
But
plus,
that's
with a
fine.
plus,
So
plus five,
7.
so 7. Okay. I'm just gonna go with the 3 of you
7?
for
So, it
ease
was
of,
a
ease of
20
thing.
27 and a 28 for me.
Thank you. Okay.
7.
So yeah, you managed to
I'm
keep
sneezing with all these horrible smells.
you managed to keep yourself rather stealthy. Yeah, not making too much of a splash here.
Yay.
And as you carry on down along the river, and you can see it, you can still hear it moving a bit more, a bit faster off to your side there, as opposed to the very sluggish water here. And it does all just add, it just links up, right? The water, the river has just burst its banks and come over into this whole area. And there are these tufts of reeds and little motes of mist and fog just lazily drifting around the place, obscuring view and making shapes off in the trees look more sinister than they perhaps are. Now, as you make your way further south, you start to see scattered throughout the marsh old peasant cottages, their walls covered in black mildew, the roofs mostly caved in. These decrepit dwellings seem to hunker down in the mire as though they have long since given up on escaping the thick mud. Everywhere you look, black clouds of flies dart about, hungry for blood, and you're constantly having to bat them away from you. The fog is much thinner on the far side of the river, and Crick, you are very interested to spy a ring of standing stones.
How far away is that?
Across the river, so it's about, what will it be? It's about 60 feet across.
Quick question to the DM. How long has it been since the fight with the creatures?
The Naga?
This one?
About half an hour or so, probably?
Okay, just keep me up to date, because like, I can only keep this form for an hour, so...
I see.
I have a 30-foot swim speed. Can I make my way over there? Is there anything like in the way or?
Fly?
Okay, well, I could. and ruin my perfect stealth, Xenicus?
Okay. Give me an athletics check, Crick.
You
Certainly.
got this.
Krieg is the swamp.
Craig is the swamp.
Dirty 20.
Excellent. So the two of you just see Craig kind of bob down, and you just see that little burb head just poking out of the water and just ghosting through like a seal's head popping up out of the waters of the Hebrides. And just this little head just goes bobbing across the river, struggles with the current a little bit as they head out into the body of the main river, but quickly adapts to that and continues across. And it's not long before you see him rise up and completely emerge from the water, as it seems the other side of the river, away from the village, is not suffering the same level of flooding and swampiness as your side. So, Crick, what do you do?
I'm going to just walk into the center of the stone circle. Before I do, I'll turn around and kind of wave, make a hand signal at Xenakis, Vanta, and Asara.
Mhm.
But it would be a hand signal that he learned as a soldier in his village.
Yes.
And after he tries it a few times, he realizes oh shoot, they don't.
They have no frame of reference for that.
Yeah. And then he'll walk into the stone circle.
We're waving back, like.
Right, yeah.
As you approach,
That's more bad.
you see these gigantic menhirs rising up out of the peaty ground, covered in lichen and moss, almost concealing very ancient, weather-worn symbols carved into the stones themselves. And you're going to walk into the midst of them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Whoa.
As you do, the surrounding countryside and swamp disappears, and you are only aware of being here in the ring of stones. And before long, a familiar deep voice joins you at your shoulder as the barbarian chieftain Kavan steps to your side. Ah, you have done well. You have found the second circle of the Thanes.
It's good to see you again, Kavan.
This was the site once dedicated to the Lady of the Swamps, the Weaver. Behold how Strahd defiled and took her power. And as you bear witness, you see Strahd von Zarovich stride from outside the circle between two of the stones, completely ignoring you as you are just spectators to this scene. And he strides into the middle of the circle, and that cackling that you can hear is from a hag-like female who's scampering along beside him, fawning over him. He's like, "Ah, yes, my baby, my little Strahd. Look at him, so big, so strong. And yes, we shall make you stronger, my dear. We shall make you stronger." And as they enter, you see minions of theirs, cloaked figures, cultists of Strahd's ego, basically, march into the stone circle, forcing 10 young women ahead of them, each one grasped by the shoulders, And these women are dressed in plain shifts and robes, seeming to be some kind of priestess. And they have talismans with markings not dissimilar to those on the stones, which are much clearer now, as you have seemed to have traveled back in time to a time when this was a sacred site to the ladies of the Thanes, the goddesses that were worshipped by the forest folk of this land before Strahd and his armies arrived. You are forced to witness as these priestesses are each chained to each of the stones. And as they're held there helpless, you experience a dilation in time as you realize that you've witnessed day upon day of torture as these priestesses are slowly broken. And one by one, they renounce the ladies of the Thanes as false goddesses. They renounce their faith as Strahd breaks them. And as each one renounces their faith and says, calls on the ladies of the Thanes as false gods, the hag thrusts out a gnarled, taloned hand towards their chest and pulls out their still beating hearts and brings them one by one to Strahd, who consumes them, and in doing so takes the power of the Weaver, the Lady of the Swamp Thane. And this site has been desecrated ever since.
Kavarn, what do I do?
As the scene fades and the stones become aged, covered in lichen and, heavily obscured again, Kavarn is still with you, although almost misty, kind of grey, almost ethereal himself, and fading fast. You must find the knowledge on how to reconsecrate these holy sites. Reconsecrate this sacred ground and take back the power for the ladies of the Thanes. Deprive Strahd and make them whole once more. And he points with his spear, with the feathers hanging off just below the blade at the top, to the mountains that you can see capped with snow far to the south. Mountains that you've been gestured to several times before. Look to the mountain tops. There lies an ancient, yet dangerous hall of knowledge. Look for the amber gates. Kavarn disappears. You're left alone in the ancient stone circle.
Well, I guess it's more information than I had before. I actually have direction now. Ugh. Craig will kind of shake a chill off of him and start coming back towards the others.
Okay. You swing again.
Yeah. before he steps back into the water, there isn't anything else in the stone circle, right?
No, just broken ground, and there may be something that once was an altar, but it's cracked and just lying, neglected, with weeds and grass growing up around it. Coarse grass is what I would say. Excuse me.
Right. Craig will stop and think for a second, and he'll walk back over. He'll walk to this altar, this cracked altar, and he'll like pluck a feather off of his chest and like put it in the crack of the altar, and say out loud, I'll be back."
And as you kneel, there is a faint clink. And the leather strap around your neck contains not one bead, but two.
Oh, that's right. Craig will like kind of pull it still on his neck like away so he could look at it and just kind of fiddle with it. Well, that's two. One more.
And as you take the necklace and look closer, you see a faint blue light and movement within the bead, much as you saw with the first, with the Lady of the Forest Thane. And you see this on roll 20.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that bug. That one's vicious.
Oh, that image is cool.
It is.
Oh, we get to see it too?
Yes,
weirdly,
please. It's on
I
the map.
can't see it. Yeah.
Really? No,
It's-
just take
it's on the
it.
map down,
It's
down where we
animated,
actually
so-
are.
Oh, I'll watch on this. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
As you see an image of the Lady of the Swamp Thane, the Weaver, as she is also known, alongside the Lady of the Forest Thane, the Seer. And having said that you'll be back, you silently, stealthily lower yourself back into the river and swim across to rejoin the others. Now, the two of you, if you were keeping a tab on Craig,
Go here, the river.
you just saw him go into the stone circle and stand there stock still for a while,
Krieg,
and then kneel and then
Craig.
come back.
Krieg.
He's
still
done this. He's done this before. It's fine.
Okay.
He'll be
Yeah.
out of it.
Is this like when I go and stand in the corner and stare at the wall?
I'm not so sure. Do you have visions of?
Oh, you're here now. You had a vision?
Oh, yeah. Similar to the other. Wait, you weren't there. It was just me and Xenicus the first time.
I see.
Didn't make sense then. Still doesn't now.
I can understand the concept of just standing and doing nothing and letting the visions of your gods wash over you.
Did you gain any new jewelry this time?
Kind of. More of an addition to existing jewelry. But I got some new information. So this is similarly to the stone circle near where the bone grinder stood.
Gonna cleanse the ring or something?
Yeah, exactly. More or less. They told me to head up into the mountains for the third one. And apparently that's where we're supposed to get the information on how to reconsecrate these areas, which will weaken the big guy.
Now, Krieg, as a ranger, with your sense of direction and your awareness of your surroundings, the locations that he was referring to, pointing to the south, were quite different to where the other stone circle is supposed to be. That was more of a westerly direction.
Got it. Okay.
Southwest, to be fair, but this was almost due south that he was pointing.
Right.
Towards the large mountains. And you saw in your vision when you visited the last stone circle of the Lady of the Mountain thing, that was in the foothills of the mountains, out near the barrier of mist.
He said something about an amber gate.
Wait, Erika, I'm going to look at Banta.
Amber.
Aren't you looking for Amber?
Amber. I need. Once we have my items, we must go there.
We will.
Asara looks to you as well, Vanta, and she's like, "Isn't that place that we saw, where that voice spoke to us beneath the Blue Water Inn?"
Likely.
There were amber statues. Amber statues flanking some kind
But
of...
the person who spoke to us was also of the same...
Seneca's hush.
same persuasion as Strahd, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, mine was a big, beefy guy.
Miles was a vampire, I think. Am I getting that wrong? Pretty sure his name was
Vampire.
Vampire.
Yeah, no.
They called themselves.
Not one of that type.
Mm.
But
But he
Asara's
said
like,
that
but let's be real. I mean, how many snowy amber temples are there going to be?
Just the one, I think.
How many hags are there going to be? How many?
Hey, now that's a
less
good
the
question.
better.
Can we go?
Yes.
I
We
think
came
we
here
should
for a
find
reason.
our Yes, we should get your items, but after that, we still have a dinner reservation.
I do not mind attending.
After what happened last time, we, for some reason, upset Strahd. I don't think
I
we should
can't
go
understand
again.
why. All we want to do is free him from his flesh prison.
At the moment,
And that
you...
seems genuinely perplexed.
Yeah, it is just like nods, like
Mm.
uh-huh.
What
the
could possibly...
At the moment, you are on the northeast side of this village, up towards the path, such as it is, leading back towards that crossroads. And you assume Esmeralda's wagon. You haven't heard it explode, so it must still be there.
Mhm.
And you remember that you were told to head over to the west edge of the town. So how would you like to proceed? You can loop around to the north or to the south. I do not recommend going through the middle.
No.
Anybody got a coin?
Toss a coin to your ranger.
A swamp full of hay. I have 5 gold.
Oh, I don't need any gold. I have
Okay.
that's cool. So Craig will pull out a single copper and say, what is it? Crowns and Dragons?
Crowns and dragons.
Here it's Strahd,
Oh, right.
Strahd and Bat.
Strahd and bats.
All
Said
right.
off the
Strahd
top
and
of his head.
Bat is north and this guy's south.
Everything seems to go south when he arrives.
I was just looking for the words to say that. I was like, how can I?
Makes sense. It's very...
So, Crick, says Asara, impatiently. Which is it to
Alright,
be?
Roll a d6. Hold on.
Odds and evens.
Looks like we're going north, boys and girls.
I do not
You?
care if you call me boy.
North it is.
Would you prefer Vady?
That was phenomenal. Flesh persons do not.
Okay.
And
So-
like as we're kind of heading out, Xenicus is gonna like as if he's sniffing the beads on the thing on your neck. Is there like a smell of swamp or like forest from each of the beads, or do they just have no smell themselves?
They do not know. They're just glass.
Also, I don't think you should keep women in your jewelry. It's strange.
Oh, I mean, they're not trapped in there.
They're not. He's like his nuzzle right up against it.
No, do you smell someone in there? I don't.
No. But
As you're making
moving.
your way slowly, wading around, it's eased off a little bit here now that you're nearer the village itself. You're about knee deep, and you're making your way around the outskirts of the town, keeping to the trees before they start to have been cleared for the town itself. And you see another row of ruined cottages in the same state of disrepair as those you'd seen before. But beyond them, whilst equally ruined and dilapidated, you do see the remains of a taller structure.
Is there any indication as to what the purpose of this was? Like a town hall, maybe a church or a temple?
Bunter, you would recognize it as a fairly holy-looking building, yes. So you think this is the remains of a church?
Not. This would be to the forest saints.
I'm sorry?
This would be to the forest.
With your experience so
could do
far,
religion.
you would think it would be just by what you've already come across. You think it would be to the Morning Lord.
No, no, no.
Yeah, that seems to have been the religion that Strahd's men brought with them, the soldiers brought with them, before they were all killed.
Darkness.
Corruption took the.
Like everything else in this damned place.
Now, do we see a hut?
A hut?
Don't go near the hut. We were told not to.
We were
Just want
That's
to
true.
make sure.
Stay away.
Nothing in the ruins of these cottages, no. And you skirt round the back of them, keeping the low walls such as they are between you and the rest of the village. And,
We peer in at a couple.
of course, yeah, please. I think maybe one of them has the vague remnants of a broken table, also molded and in complete disrepair. Whatever happened to this village, it happened quite some time ago.
I think Vanta has a curiosity streak. We'll just pick one at random, and I think she's just gonna just head in there and see if there's anything information about any sort of thing that's been left behind, something interesting. Just see if there's anything like that.
Give me an investigation check.
15 plus investigation 2, 19, 17.
You find nothing but stagnant water and mildewed walls. It's been too long.
Should keep our eyes open for anything out of the ordinary. But
Please. So, do you continue making your way around towards the church building?
seems like the next port of call.
Keeping my nose out for the smell of Fanta that's not coming from Fanta. I'm trying to track Fanta's items as best I can.
Okay.
Banter is eagle-eyed watching you, Xenacus.
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Oh. That is 16.
16. Nothing yet. There are so many other fairly overpowering smells around.
Makes sense.
Now, as you make your way past the cottages and towards this dilapidated church,
Like, Xenacus puts up a hand as soon as he hears it, because I'm guessing his ears probably got it first.
yes, you do hear a voice muttering incoherently over the sound of frogs and bugs. And through the fog, after you start to hear this, you see the empty shell of the old stone church, north of which is a cemetery. Leaning gravestones enclosed by a disintegrating iron fence. Half of the cemetery has sunk into the swampy mire beyond the fringes. But in the middle, it rises up in almost like concentric circles up to a mausoleum. Nothing huge, but definitely standing out and, dilapidated, but in better condition than the others. And in front of this mausoleum, there is a statue, the details of which you can't make out from here. But that voice is not coming from there. It's coming from the ruins of the church.
Vanter is intrigued, but she has a quest. And if there ain't no book in there, it's not going to be her second instinct, her first instinct. So she'll wait and see what Xenacus does.
Xenacus is on all fours now. He's going to try and creep up and listen and try and hear what that voice is saying. And going to try and see if he can see or hear, smell Vanta's items in there.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Gandalf when he's chanting at Kahadras.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find. There we go.
It's kind of like a moth is going to appear. And he's going to fly away from Isengard.
As you slowly make your way through the water, rounding the corner of the broken down building, you hear the voice is actually coming from above you. And as you come in sight of that side of the building, there is a bizarre sight. Some sort of undead creature in priestly robes, tattered and dilapidated as they are, has been nailed to the wall up near the top of the broken eaves, and it's just hanging there, unable to die, doomed to watch the village die in his stead. And he's just mumbling to himself over and over. You have not seen. You have not seen what Grigor has seen. Endless halls. Dark powers. Such potential. Such gifts. Locked away in dark halls. Dark halls and amber prisons, locked away. Such powers, dark splendors. It just goes on like that, and on and on.
Holy man.
Doesn't seem to pay you any heed. It's just still. You think it's a form of madness might have taken over this one's senses.
How high up again is he?
About 20 feet up.
I think Vant will kind of wade alongside just to be on his level and say,
You've seen a creature like this before in Death House. Sorry, Durst Manor. Slip of the tongue. And
casting my mind back.
this is the same kind of creature that Lady Durst had been made into
Right.
when she attacked you in the Durst Manor.
Okay. It was like that was a very, very long time ago, so can you just really quickly remind me how that encounter went down? I might have the notes in my book, but just a little bit jog my memory.
She had been changed into a ghast.
A ghast, okay.
A ghast, which is an undead creature, but with certain remnants of their mortal self, their living self, and had been. Let's see if I can just find a token to show you. Ghast, a ghost.
Morwen Daggerford, don't
Ghast.
take me at normal times. My church. Oh, that's my backstory.
Keep reading.
I only have 3 things. Morwen Daggerford is my link. Don't take meals at normal times. My church no longer exists, and I prefer to be cold.
That's
Fair
a backstory and a half.
All fair points. Okay.
Caloras.
Just giving you this to look at. It's quite gross.
Okay.
Please.
Lovely.
Hello.
Something about being undead just gives you a neck.
Oh, the little blue situation with the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, he's great. Vanta will say to Xenakis, might take a little madness to get him to understand it. Although,
Like
I
Zedekis
do
looks at you
remember-
as if to go like, go ahead.
oh,
Maybe he needs last rites.
I could certainly try.
What do you say?
Okay,
What do you do?
I'll enter the room properly. I'm assuming he's like at
this is on the outside. He's
outside.
nailed to the outside.
Okay, I'll approach the temple properly.
Mhm.
I'm assuming there's like some sort of like steps upwards a little bit to the entrance of the doorway, so I'll just climb
a
up.
little, yeah, broken and falling away, but yes,
Yeah,
there's some there.
so I'm just like a little bit out of the water. Maybe my like ankles and such are still submerged, but so I'm at the feet of this creature, and I look up. Is it still just looking off into the distance and muttering to itself?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you say anything? Do anything?
So just to clarify, he was sort of like saying some scathing things about monsters and wanting to trap them in amber prisons, right?
Yes.
Then Vanta will withdraw her, which is now the amulet of Ravenkind, and she will just turn it in her hands, and then holding it kind of against her chest, she'll just look at this creature and say, "You no longer have to speak to manifest those thoughts of amber prisons and retribution, for I have come as a conduit, and I will see them to fruition. Sleep now, and live forever with us in immortality." And I will just say a blessing to the Raven Queen, And so I have things I can actually do if it needs more than just last rites to kind of get this thing to leave. Which would be, well, which would be things like my turn undead feature.
I mean,
If it needs something
Doesn't-
more than last rites, though.
doesn't seem to be any kind of threat, stuck up there. But as you say that, can you give me a charisma check?
Okay. With my prayer to the Raven Queen, I cast guidance.
Okay.
Okay, I needed that. Oh, charisma. 10.
Actually, no.
7
Give me a persuasion religion check.
Religion. Okay. 15.
Okay. So, as you say those words and try to give him peace and release from this situation that they're in, their head just kind of rolls around and looks down at you sat below them and just locks eye contact with you. We were just trying to do the right thing. Brother Grigor, and the Burgermaster, Laszlo. We were only trying to protect her, as the devil himself had noticed her and was giving her his attentions. She needed protection. She needed to be as far away as possible. Yes, it was I. It was I who did the killing blow. But she was safe. But we were not ready for the devil's wrath. And he raises his head up and then just starts rambling again.
I look back to the boys and just say, I've done what I can. And at least we got a little bit of information out of this.
Marina is next. I don't recommend we kill her, if this is what happens.
Yes. I wonder who it was. Do you think the temple will have answers?
Well, it might.
Bunter,
What wrath?
as you're sat
Yes.
there on the steps, with your back to the church, and looking out onto the graveyard, up the rise towards that mausoleum, talking, as you look that direction, talking to Craig and Xenicus, your eye is drawn and caught by a sudden movement as you see something small, almost skeletal, useless pair of wings hanging behind it, skitter between two tombstones up near the mausoleum.
I think Vanta probably would have been standing, so what, like, to give the rights. So she probably would just, like, start plump, 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 towards, into the water again, over towards the graveyard. Like, there's something there.
Zeneca is gonna like kind of gallop over to try and.
And she thinks it resembles one of those little bastards who took her stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. This is wonderful
She
sight.
is heading
Zeneca
that
is
way.
pacing.
Craig stayed in the water and like seeing Vanta like sloshing over in that direction and Xenicus like taking off on all fours. He'll like Like it looks like he's straining, but like he's just kind of like over the water. Like all the work is under the water. He's like kicking furiously.
Like a duck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna approach this thing.
You
I gallop.
wade. It's too difficult, and there's hidden tombstones and things that would be a very bad idea.
Hitting
Um,
against them.
And yeah, you're banging into them and kind of carefully making your way around them. But then you do start to rise up that hill, and as you do so, you start to come up out of the water, and there's kind of dead, straggly grass around as the tendrils of mist crowd around this hilltop as you start to climb up it, looking. You haven't seen more movement yet, but you start to climb up and move up towards the top of the hill. And that little mausoleum there. What's your walking order here?
Vanta probably would have started first, but Xenacus is huge, so he's probably at the front.
He's in the overtakes.
Krieg is probably the last out of the water.
Okay, John, I noticed that Asara 9 HP. So, that's not ideal. And I'm just gonna look at her and say, I think you should hang back for this one, because I don't really want to heal you, because I need to use my magics to retreat. This is a bad idea. I'm going to heal you. Never mind. I retract everything I just said, and I'll heal her because Vanta's moment of realization that this is exactly one of those moments where she needs to think about other people.
Krieg, can you use Asara's character sheet for me then?
I might be able to.
Oh,
I
can.
don't know if
It's
I
okay.
have her logged
can.
into the.
Sorry, I got it.
Is anybody at the moment super hurt?
I'm partially wounded.
Partially wounded.
Krieg is feeling real good.
Yeah,
so-
Asara's really bad.
Okay, then rather than okay. She's gonna take a 3rd level cure wounds.
Okay.
1,
How much is that?
2, 3. Could have been better. 10, 16, 20.
Okay.
And fork it. And Vanta, realizing that she's still probably looking quite bad, is just gonna give her a pat and then, if possible, another additional healing word.
Okay.
Just a cheeky little 1st level.
It's a cheeky
What?
heal.
4 HP, so 24 extra HP on that total.
Thank you. So as you make your way forward, you cast your magics and offer a prayer to the Raven Queen and heal your friend Asara. And she looks and she's like, "Thank you, Vanta.
Friend.
I'm happy you're here."
Happy.
Yes.
Look it. Then starts going at the graveyard again.
Actually, as you look up, actually, Vanta, this will be the first time you've ever actually seen this. Like, Xenacus just seems to be, like, bowing his, like, in his wolf form, but he's bowing his head, and all of a sudden you see, like, magic actually form from his hands. And
His
you-
hat. His
hands.
top hat. Hands. Hands. Okay, cool.
His claws, I guess.
Yeah.
And you would I would say, because you would recognize this kind of magic. He casts Cure Wounds on himself.
Oh!
So,
I think
Interesting.
you did cast something on yourself in Dust Mana.
but I specifically did it when no one was looking.
Gotcha.
That was then, and this is now.
Yeah, I've never done this in front of the others.
There you go.
Interesting.
Character growth.
Krieg gets a little jealous of the magic and starts to play with the bugs.
8 HP. Yeah.
I could do magic.
I got 8 HP back. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you all make your way up the hill, as you near the crest, it does level out a couple of times, and there's a ring of, again, broken, dilapidated graves, tombstones fallen over, some of them cracked in half. Some graves that seem to have been disturbed from within. And you continue to make your way up the hill. And as you get closer to the mausoleum, your suspicions are confirmed as one, then another, and another of these cadaver sprites scuttle between tombstones, peek over the top of the mausoleum. One of them runs across the top of the mausoleum, jumps off into the backside of it where you can't see. You can hear the little footsteps and their little scritchy claws on the stone, the lichen-covered stone of these graves.
Lots of werewolves all over.
And from inside the mausoleum, now that you've got much closer and have climbed up to the top of the hill, you can see that its doors are missing. There's something off in the grass to the side which might be one of them lying discarded, but the actual doorway itself is open, although at an angle to you that it can't be seen within. But you hear footsteps. 2 sets of footsteps moving inside, coming towards the door.
I stand and wait. No. Do they sound heavy? Like
Fairly.
big things? Oh,
Yes, much bigger than the cadaver sprites, that's for sure.
okay.
And
I do stand.
the last time you heard this kind of footfall was a bacon-loving, talking horse. And it's at that moment that the quadrupedal form of what must have once been a centaur
Wow.
emerges from the mausoleum. But what life there is in this creature has been greatly depleted. It is clinging on, from all appearances, just to the very, very last remnants of life, as the skin, graying and mottled with liver spots, is stretched tight over bones of the rib cage of its upper torso, and also its second rib cage on the horse-like body behind it as it emerges, and a straggly length of hair is hanging down from its head, and the skin drawn so tight over the skull that it almost looks skeletal. And there are patches where it's dried and cracked, and there are almost like holes into the interior of the mouth on the side. But it does look alive. Just. And this creature ducks out of the mausoleum and slowly, somewhat unsteadily, clops forward to be standing in front of the mausoleum regarding you all. And you have to forgive me, this token was not originally a centaur. But I can show you what the face looks like.
Sure.
I can also move you a bit closer, because you are not down here anymore.
Yeah.
Say you're climbed up over this way. You see that fella there?
Yeah.
Let's bring it up nice and big for the folks at home. Here we
Yeah.
go, everybody. It's not much better.
My God.
Also,
A lovely looking fella.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm going to make it giant for the people at home.
John, sorry to but for the Syrinscape request, it says that you haven't accepted my request, which might be why I can't hear anything. But just in case there's any music or important music cues, I can't hear them. So just
It's
you're aware of that.
creepy, but that's about. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Here you go.
Creepy.
Rah. There he is. So.
Neat.
This is the torso and head that you see, and then that tapers down into that equine body with a very bedraggled looking tail hanging behind.
Zenica's definitely going to step forward, going to put himself between the party and this horrid creature.
There you go, I've accepted that now.
Okay, thank you.
For anybody just jumping, a couple of people just jumped in there. It's not that big. I'm just showing everybody the token.
Music. Oh,
You're like,
I do love the music.
yay?
Yay!
Question
It's
mark?
horrifying.
Question mark?
God. This poor creature.
It's an abomination.
We bring it back down to
Take it.
size.
Zenica's nods at Vanta.
This is the fate that await all who cling to false life. Their souls are trapped. Any wealth of knowledge they once had is depleted down to nothing, watered down by years. Until all you're left with is a husk and a memory, and nothing else.
Who is it that disturbs the rest and lamentations of Hectanthus?
They're what?
The pole bearers.
There are no funerals here anymore.
And no mourners left either.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is not true. For I spend my days in eternal mourning.
Who are you?
Hectanthus.
Have you always been here?
No. But maybe I can help you. I am a seer. I can glimpse the future. Come.
Can you see where the items I came to retrieve are?
He closes
Can
his
you
eyes.
see that?
Yes.
Should have opened with that. And Vanta will start walking up the hill.
Like as she walks up, like Zenicus is trying really hard to keep himself between her, like between himself and this between Vanta and the creature, and probably failing.
Vanta will accept this. But that doesn't mean she won't get ahead of herself occasionally.
He gestures at the ground in front of the mausoleum. Please, seat yourselves. Let me cast the bones.
What are these creatures around you?
Thieves.
Shadows
rightly.
of their former selves. He looks curiously at you, I think you would have changed back by now.
Oh really? Ah, crap.
Yeah. That's definitely been over an hour.
Shit. Oh, changes.
And so as you go to step forward, like confidently in your werewolf
Yeah.
form, you're just like, oh fuck. Is that token gonna switch over?
Yeah, no, it's just I wouldn't have used the healing if I'd known I was that close.
Oh, sorry. That doesn't carry over.
It's more like I didn't need to use it.
Right. So yes, what are the others of you doing? Are you moving alongside?
Yeah.
Okay. So as Xenicus strides forward, he changes back down into his Eladrin form, and Hectanthus reacts. He's like, "Have you not seen their like before, Fey One? Look closely. See if you can glimpse what they used to be."
Do I notice anything like other than the fact that they're very clearly fey creatures? Do I notice anything extra from last time?
No.
No.
But he has reacted to you becoming an Eladrin.
Like Xenicus just kind of waves that off, and he just says, "I care not for what they are. Did you send them?"
Vanta's interested to see the answer there.
I do not control them. They once served me in their previous form. They failed. They failed. And she is gone.
Who is she?
You once served the Weaver.
Vanta, as you say that, all of those cadaver sprites pipe up together in a shrill chorus. Very similar to one you've heard before, as you wiped them out on top of the tower at Lake Baratok. Rilena! 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 Rilena!
I look at Xenicus.
Like I said, like at that, Xenicus actually takes a step towards this creature, clearly thinking like he caused that to happen, and like sword like kind of out facing towards us. What is the meaning of this?
The creature looks confused, curious. What care you?
Answer my question first.
Come. Sit. Let the bones answer.
You're definitely looking at the others for like, are they okay with this? Because you can clearly see on Zenica's face, he is not okay.
Vanta needs this, so
For anyone
She
in
is-
the dark in chat, Rilena is Seneca's sister.
Krieg is pretty empathetic towards this centaur creature and is willing to, like, kind of stay close to the others but give him the benefit of the doubt.
You can see that Zenicus is not happy. He's still got the sword out drawn towards this creature, but he nods to everyone else. But you can see very angry about, like,
Yeah.
trusting this, but he's willing to move forward, but he's keeping the weapon out.
Vanta just nods. Yeah.
So, do you gather around him and sit down?
I think it was more like a kneeling, but with the sword ready, so that he could just jump up if he had to quickly, rather
Yeah.
than like an awkward sitting pose.
And as you move up to him and gather around, he reaches into his garments and pulls out a very old, very worn leather, like dice bag size pouch, and undoes the leather cords that cinch the neck shut. He reaches in and pulls out a handful of what look like knuckle bones, but engraved with arcane and strange symbols. And he starts almost kneading them in his hand. Closes his eyes. You have all traveled from far through the mists, as we once did. I, Hectanthus, my guardians, he says with his dripping with spite in his voice, as he looks around at the cadaver sprites that almost kind of like shy away and hide behind gravestones and things around the corner of the mausoleum. I, Hectanthus, these failures, and my warlock. You have traveled here in search of something lost, someone lost. They yet live, but this land contains many dangers. This land is rife with peril and mortal dread. Head you into the town of Perez, or beyond, to the mountains to the south, or the hilltops to the west, and you will find. And he casts the bones. And they roll and clatter on the stone that lies discarded in the dirt here. And they come to rest in a very specific formation, which isn't immediately familiar. But then you actually turn around and kind of look at it from the side, and it spells out in the common alphabet T P K. And this Death Speaker has cast Death Speak on you all, and I need an intelligence saving throw.
Fucking
What a prick.
I should have insight checked him. I was thinking that as we were like getting and sitting in, I was like, I wonder if this guy's legit. Oh my god.
Oh, Colby, you can tell Steph I got her a 24.
Okay.
Intelligence saving throw, yeah?
Intelligence save.
It's not.
Yes. It's not good.
This is not a charm effect, yeah?
21.
Ooh. That is a
12.
19. 12 does not sound good.
Hey, EDH. How you doing, man?
No.
It's a 12
12
from
would feel
Vanta.
very good. I have a backup character, finally, so don't bring her back, boys. It's not what she wants.
Is it Wade stealthily?
I'm not going to say anything. Don't want to. I don't want
Jinx it.
any more than.
How'd you go, Xenicus?
Oh, sorry, 19.
19.
Plus 5 saves my ass.
Asara, Craig, and Xenicus, you all look confusedly at this strange combination of letters. What could it mean? Vanta, you know all too well what it means. And you are full of the existential dread that the Raven Queen will call you before your mission is complete. And you, filled with the dread that you'll die before you can deal with Strahd and rescue him from his flesh prison. You are now cursed. And you have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay.
One out of 4. Ooh.
Good one.
But
Do it.
this is not, this is not a clearly malicious action, but on his part, this
Yeah, I
is
was
just
gonna say,
something
like,
that's happened, right? You're all
yeah,
just like, what?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I haven't
Yeah.
noticed in it, because I was going to say, if there's an aggressive move, like, he'd have a sword through his bony skull.
And Vanta,
Also
at any given time, looks like she's going through existential dread.
Yeah.
as well.
Also, I think rather than it being that she dies before the mission is done, because she's made very clear that she will. That is when she's supposed to. When she dies is when she's supposed to die.
Oh,
It's
please,
rather
please.
that she dies knowing the mission will never be completed by anyone else, by any of her friends carrying on that,
Okay.
or any of her order, considering she is the last of her people, and these people she's with are the last who even know of this
She's going to be
knowledge.
pissed at Xenicus now, because she asked him to continue the mission. If she thinks it's not going to happen, she's going to be pissed at Xenicus.
She may have gone to Asara for the social cues. She sees Xenicus' abilities and is like, he's probably a good shout for the mission.
So,
And like Xenicus is like there's that lull of like when he's put this down to cast this, and he's like ha ha ha, and we're all looking at like, and so what does it mean? Like looking at him. This answer's nothing.
Nothing.
be gone. Leave me to my grief.
Nothing. No, I can't. I need the book. I need the locket. I need the locket. We
Why-
can't leave without them.
Why did they say that name? You answered nothing.
And he looks down. Give me a persuasion check, Xenicus. Or intimidation, your choice.
Ooh.
Yeah, sword out,
Or-
as it is.
Yes, they're both the same, but it will be intimidating
Okay.
as best I can. No, not very. It's a 10.
It's okay. I was going 50-50. What care has one of Strahd's little pets got for those of us abandoned here?
We're not pets of his. like, and he's kind of clearly gesturing at the undeadness of them, like spitting it as if to go, like, as if they're more likely to be pets of his than us.
They are being punished. They failed me. They failed my warlock, Rilena.
Zeneca's is actually, I'm going to roll, because he's trying to keep a straight face there. What do I roll to keep a straight face? There's no cool check like there is
No.
in the Star Wars system.
Will? Is it will?
Will. Okay, I'll do it. Will. Check or a saving throw? Check, I guess. 'cause
You could
it's
do
not
a
on
performance check if you like.
performance. Yeah, I'll do that. It's actually worse, but I'll do that. And see if I fit more. That's an 18 actually.
Okay.
That's not too bad. So
Yeah, you managed to keep your composure.
I've met that one before. I would speak with them again.
He just looks crestfallen. She is lost. As am I. As are we all. Doomed never to return to the Feywild. Trapped here. Warped. Kind of gestures to himself and to the cadaver sprites around him. Warped by the corrupting powers. Those dark powers. They stole her away. She was mine. She was my warlock. They stole her away with promises. Promises of power. Fun fact, because you very nearly saw this person before.
I'm gonna say I was about to make a comment on it. Like, I was about to say that we have met before.
What's that referring to?
Well, the point where I very briefly, because he's put two and two together of what this, like, who this could have been and what that encounter was.
Uh-huh.
So that that's all he's saying. Then we have met before.
I recall not. Where did this happen?
'Twas brief. But know that warlock of yours refused to let me converse with you.
And a sad smile stretches across his paper-thin face. The brother.
Like the mask is gone now. Like he was trying to like keep it calm, but like it's just pure anger now.
My little Rilena's little brother. Tell me. He looks up to the side as if trying to recall something. Xenacus. Tell me. Is it greed that trapped you here too? Does it run in the family?
Like he's almost like like it's as if he's like about to change back into werewolf form. He can't, but it's as if he's almost about to change back. Justice brought me here.
There is no justice to be had in this cursed land. Just loss. Like the dark powers took her from me.
her?
He.
The land.
There are powers here older, more potent than he.
Holy shit.
Like, just like hear Crick saying that in the background.
It is they that gave him his curse. The curse of Strahd. Sorry. And fake credits. It's the second time I've done that today. Second time I've done that today. At the end of a dream sequence in Out of the Abyss at lunchtime, I was like, it was Tidra, actually, Emma. Tidra was saying to her Asimar, only you can stop them emerging out of the abyss. And fade to credits. That's what that link was I sent you before. the Pits group chat.
That's neat.
Sorry,
Good lord.
excuse me, breaking this mood there a second. No. It is they that gave him his immortality. They who drove him to murder his own kin. To drive his love to suicide. But he's trapped here. Trapped here with his failures. As are we all. Tell me, Xenacus, did Relena ever speak of me?
No.
Oh, yes. The good little arcane family. Book learning for the win. Not Relena. She wanted more. More than books could give her. More than your parents could teach her. She wanted the gifts I could give.
Like, he's like trying really hard to like stay calm, and then suddenly just kind of like breathes in like the mention of his family and the kind of thoughts of his family. He's kind of centers him for a second, and he kind of almost creepy laugh as he just kind of looks around. It's like, Clint, and not a very good gift at that.
Oh, the things she was capable of, and yet kept hidden from you, her beloved family. But heed this warning. A thirst for power will lead to your ruin, as it has hers and mine. I was a prince of Tatiana's court. And now, I'm stuck here with these simpering sycophants and their worthless gifts. And he looks over his shoulder. And Vanta, you follow his gaze and see various trinkets and things piled up on a low shelf in the mausoleum, including
Oh my.
a prayer book and a locket.
She just gets up and grabs them. Doesn't care if anyone. She gets up and she takes them.
Ecthantis doesn't stop you.
Worthless gifts. Worthless gifts. You know nothing, and you claim to be a seer.
I know
Hollow
nothing.
creature. Nothing.
I know nothing.
Nothing that matters to me.
Oh, really?
Nothing.
I would say it is you who knows nothing. Black Spire.
And
You.
I'm not meant to. That is not my right, sir. You took these from me, and you think you can dictate what is important in my life.
Take them back.
You, sir, are wrong.
I took nothing. And they're of no use to me. No use to you. You are the one who brought them here. Where death kept them from coming once before. You are the one who brought them through the mists and closed them to all.
No, I'm not. The Raven Queen. And she leads them still. I don't care for your words or your laughter, sir. Laugh at me all you like. I still move. I still breathe and live. And if I die, it will not be long until I am with my queen, even if I'm stuck in this place. I don't think you can say the same. We will leave here with these, with your knowledge of Relena, and we will make of it what we will, whether we know things or not. Xenacus, you don't need him. You don't need what he has.
I have nothing.
Nothing.
It has been taken from me by those powers who usurped my Relena's love.
She's not yours. She is her own.
He nods ruefully.
Stop talking. If you have nothing, then surely you have nothing more to say. Or I'll
Very well.
take your tongue. I can. And I would add it to those I've taken.
Very well. He looks to you, Xenacus.
You can see he's like, his chest is heaving of like that anger, like just holding it in at the moment. Like, it's like he's lucky that Vanta is voicing the anger, because if it was him, he don't think he would have just leapt on this guy.
Yeah.
He looks at you and he's like,
Vanta moves to stand
Xenacus,
behind Xenacus.
know that we came here in union. She seeking the powers in the Amber Temple, and I seeking to find my Fey brethren. That's the wrong word. Sorry. My Fey. Oh, what's the word? What's the female equivalent of brethren? What would it be?
Brethren is, I'm sure.
Is it
brethren.
either? Okay. Anyway.
I'm sure.
Yes, my Fey brethren, the ladies of the Thanes.
Wait. How are you related to them?
In origin, they are of the Feywild also. Nature, incarnate, worshipped as goddesses in this vale before he, Strahd, came.
Then why do you hinder us?
What have I done to hinder you?
Send these creatures to steal our items.
I did no such thing. They seek items of power. Trinkets that they misguidedly think can break us out of here, return us home. There is no way. After what she did. He nods at you, Vanta, again. The way is closed. Not even Strahd's little pets can come and go anymore.
Hold on. Craig is gonna muscle his way in front of Hectanthus and like hold up this amulet and like turn it so that he can see all the sides. Do they look like this? Have you met them?
He bends down, regarding them closely. Smile. Halfway to joy, but not there. The depths that he's finding himself in. That is two of the sisters. They are trapped. They are trapped somewhere here. I was unable to find them before Relena doomed us both.
I've never met this Relena person. I know, Xenakis, this is your sister. I've been listening to the whole thing, but I've spoken to... Do you know the name Kavarn?
I do not.
It's neither here nor there. We intend to take the land back, to reconsecrate these desecrated areas that were given to Strahd.
It's too late. What good is reconsecrated ground when it's trapped in here in the mists by her?
Krieg, you're wasting your breath on him.
What do you know about the gates, the Amber Gates, the temple?
I know. It is to the south, in the snowy mountains. And it is there, Xenakis, that what's left of your sister is to be found. But do not go there lightly. There are old magics, old guardians, keeping those dark powers in their amber prisons.
Thank you. I know... I've been told that that's where we'll find how to take the land back from Strahd, to weaken him, to... I'm not sure what to do.
I wish that's to be true. He is the one. If you can defeat him, you can undo Vanta's folly. Come, Lady Blackspire. Allow me to not keep the royal couple apart any longer. And he steps out of the way of the door, lets you into the mausoleum if you wish.
I take the things and I take a few more just for spite.
There are several things knocking around.
What can I see?
There'll be some dice rolls in there later, but he doesn't object to you taking anything. He thinks it's all worthless to him. But he
Can
did
I-
say the Cadaver sprites were collecting items of power in an attempt to help him.
Can I cast Detect Magic to see what I can see? These items?
Magic.
The word Christmas tree springs to mind.
Oh,
As it lights up,
John.
as it lights up like one.
Vanta's been really bored on this trip, and she's just curious if there's something that she can use to pass the time a game, like a deck of cards.
So why would you say that? You horrible
Vanta
person.
is crazy. No.
This game's deck of cards is somewhere in Esmeralda's pocket.
Ah, that's what it is.
I have questions. John, just to, because seeing this is a natural kind of just break in the drama, just to clarify,
Yes.
Vanta's folly. He's
Yes.
referring to Vanta bringing all those things in here,
Yes, he
all
is.
like the objects. Okay.
And he said
Cool.
that doing so had sealed the mists.
The way is shut.
The way is shut,
Interesting.
even to Strahd's pets, which you think is the Vistani.
First Stanley, yeah.
Ah, okay. So by
would be-
bringing in those objects,
Very good. Lord of the Rings quotes to be made there.
by bringing in those objects,
It was made by those who were dead.
there is absolutely no way that she is going to admit that she had like a eureka moment listening to this dude because she hates him.
Yeah.
Sure.
And is this close to inflict wounds. But
Xenacus thinks that Vanta hasn't worked it out, but is keeping that knowledge for later because he thinks that Vanta will inflict wounds if she works that out.
yeah.
Sneaker rope
But,
beats in there, Emma.
Hi, Aelin.
The real quick, seeing Hecanthius let Vanta into the mausoleum and seeing all of these items, seeing this thing light up like a Christmas tree, and having this conversation about the Thanes with him, he's gonna look up at him, assumedly. He's probably pretty tall, and kind of gesture to the mausoleum and ask, "May I? I wonder if there's anything in there that might help."
That would be a safe bet. Let me just send these little hype phoenixes flying for that raid.
A raid.
Holy
Hello. Roll for damage.
Wow. Oh my god. That's
Thank
a lot
you.
of people.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hello.
Horrible timing, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But
It's the
horrible timing
Tarocca
or
card,
fantastic
I
timing,
believe.
as I'm going to finish with a single line as Vanta scoops up these various items, including the prayer book and the locket.
Yay.
And this Death Speaker, once Centaur Prince of the Feywild Court of Titania, looks at the locket in your hand, Lady Vanta,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Farewell, Queen Ravnovia. My regards to your husband, King Barov."
I think I'm really sorry. Hearing that. Vanta will just say, do not call their names. They're worthless after all. To you at least.
You're the one who brought them home. We shall stop there.
No expression. She just walks away. She hates this guy. Damn, she hates a lot of Barovians. Dude,
Emma, I kind of feel that you just hate me.
no! John, I'm in 2 of your campaigns.
I'm joking. As we step out to the moment here, with those lots and lots of lore dumped there, another thank you to roll for damage. And unfortunately, it looks like they're changing slots, so we'll not be raiding anytime soon again. But so let me say thank you right now for all of those raids over the weeks. It's been
Yes.
hugely appreciated every time. Thank you so much. And I hope wish you all the best in your new campaigns, your new slot, wherever that may be. And lots of love to Quest Junkies UK in all of your various forms as you're raiding out through chat there. Thank you so much, Patch, and all of your players. Thank you so much, Lucia, and everyone for coming through. And for the follows. And to everyone who joined us for this little journey into Barovia. Barovia. You do know who they are, Emma, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So,
Don't think about my answer too much.
thank you, everybody. Do come back if you have the time, this same kind of time, well, a couple of hours before this, tomorrow, as we will be down in Avernus, continuing the quest for Zariel's sword. And there are certain family issues there that need to be addressed as well. Then, next Tuesday, after a break this week, I'll be very happily back in Icewind Dale to continue our Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. Let us see what awaits our adventurers at Caer Konig with the invisible thieves lurking in the snow. And then, next Thursday for us, Wednesday evening in North America, and then Thursday morning, respectively, we will be down in the Underdark and back through the mists once more for our favourite Thursday double whammy of Out of the Abyss and Curse of Strahd. Because I cannot get enough of this DM. So thank you, everyone. It's so nice to share all of this with you, and thank you, my dear players. I will let you know what trinkets you have come across there.
Ooh.
No armored bears. I hasten to
No!
I'm okay with that.
A werewolf riding an armored bear is exactly what this campaign needs.
It's okay. We've already got the deck of many things in there, so we just need a couple more items to really round us out. Dragon Slayer longsword.
I think if the deck of many things is going to be
Four,
unleashed
four,
anywhere, like trapped within the mists of Barovia, is probably a
It's
good
the
place
best
for it.
place.
So, yeah, like minimize the damage.
Oh no, it blew up the universe. Well, at least it was only
Amulet of the
Barovia.
Plains.
Well, not only Barovia, many more planes of
Force?
dread, as you can find out in the new book coming in May.
Flying carpet.
I don't know, it's gonna break through the mist though.
I know, yeah, good point.
Necklace of fireballs. I'm shooting my shot.
So, everyone, thank you again. And as we like to say around these parts, stick around for the raid. We shall go raiding somewhere. Let me figure out who's online as we jump off here and I say goodbye to my lovely players. But do stick around for that raid and continue this journey of ours this evening. And as we like to say around these parts, oyasumi
Oyasumi.
Chika yoroshiku.